Here's 20 pieces of MMA news you might have missed. First up, Death Sentence will be fighting this weekend on Street Beefs. Ian Gary says Islam turned down a fight with him and needs more time. And Ali Abdelaziz says Ian Gary's name is not involved. There's much bigger, one of the biggest fights in the UFC right now. And Ariel Helwani revealed that Islam versus Gary was planned for UFC 327. And Conor McGregor was offered Carlos Prates for International Fight Week, but turned it down. Arman said he spoke with Hunter Campbell and one of the options presented to him was fighting for the lightweight title in September or October. He also said Hamzat wanted to fly out right after the brawl at RAF this weekend. Marco Tulio versus Roman Kopylov is set for UFC 328 in May in Newark, and the rumored date is May 9th. Yuri says his girlfriend agreed for him fighting only if it was for the title because his baby is due April 13th through 15th. Dan Hooker says the allegations against him are false. Felipe Boons and Jose Medina were removed from the roster. Adriano Moraes is now a free agent. RDR says Izzy would have beaten his ass worse than Brendan Allen if he took that fight. Piotr Jan hints that he'll be ready for the White House. Merab isn't sure when he'll get his title rematch. He says the UFC personally guaranteed him the next title opportunity, and he's willing to wait for Piotr Jan and won't take another fight in between. He also said what went wrong was that he wasn't training specifically for Piotr Jan, and he also doesn't regret fighting 4 times in a year. Chris Weidman and Uriah Hall recreated the same pose from when Weidman snapped his leg. After his fight with Azamat, Paulo Costa reveals he wants to face Hamzat Chimaev, whether at middleweight or 205. And says he took this fight because middleweight was slow and he had a really good opportunity here. Ariel Helwani keeps hearing that the UFC has never been more disorganized. Colby thinks Usman should get a title shot and says he won't let himself be used by the UFC to boost up young guys. MVP says one takedown from Islam could be all it takes against Ian Gary, and that the $15 million payout to Conor Benn hurts the brand's image as the UFC fighters continue to struggle financially. Floyd Mayweather now has 3 fights set, 2 exhibitions and 1 pro match. Chandler Parsons thinks Jared McCain is on the same level of fighter as James Johnson. Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, and Megan O'Leary all signed long-term extensions. Raoni Barcelos versus Montel Jackson April 25th. Tanner Boza versus Gokhan Saracom, UFC Winnipeg. And Adrian Luna Martinetti versus Davey Grant, April 25th.